I want to introduce John Patrick, who served in the legislature for 14 years. John is currently running to be the representative for House District number 115, which John has been a longtime friend of education, a friend of labor, and a friend of mine. And I'm very pleased to be able to have him on the call today. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Amanda.
So the first question we have is, what does the MEA endorsement mean to you?
It's extremely important for several reasons. And one, I consider myself a labor Democrat, and my whole life I fought for working men and women to elevate their lives, to make their lives better, to give them more money, to give them a pension, to give them the same things that I've had my whole life.
All right. The next question that we have for you is, how will you put partisan politics aside in order to get full funding for public education?
And that's been one of my goals in the 14 years I've been in the legislature, and I'm sure it's goals for people is property taxes can't be held in abeyance or can't be lowered unless we fully fund education. And if we fully fund education, it's going to help property tax, but it's also going to help our teachers and our students have more money to be able to have the ability to do the things that they need to do in teaching and learning. And I'm pleased to be able to work with different people from different walks of life.
So the last question we have from MEA members is, could you speak briefly to your view of the importance of labor unions in providing or in improving wages and working conditions for workers?
And one of the stories that I actually always tell people is in my working life, I made $2.15 million working in a paper mill and other various jobs. And my brother, who's 16 months younger than me, made $850,000 working non-union. He doesn't have a pension. He doesn't have any health care to fall back on. He doesn't have anything. And I always use him. I feel sorry for my brother. I always tried to get him to come to work in a union plant. He chose not to. He wanted to work outside the mill or stuff like that. And so I know what I have, and I can compare it to what everyone else has. And what I've been blessed to have so much more than so many other people. And like Troy Jackson always says, I want to put a ladder out to lift people up. And that's what unions do is they aren't the most perfect thing in the world, but they're way better than not having a union at all, because everything that I have, I actually can say it's based upon what I got from the union and how the union protected me, protected my wages, my hours, working conditions, and everything.
I couldn't agree with you more, John. And then one last kind of off the cuff question, and then we'll let you go. Teachers in Maine are really not just teachers, actually, all educators in Maine are extremely overwhelmed right now with this hybrid learning situation that's going on. And if you could ask of them just to do one thing to help in the election, what would you ask them to do for you?
Vote. Simply vote. Every single American, even if you don't vote for me, get out there and vote, because I always said I would rather lose by one vote if everyone votes than win by 5 if only 10% of the people vote. I have a ton of empathy for educators, because actually my daughter's an educator and she's also a union steward for the MEA up in East Millinocket. So I have all the support in the world for educators, because
well, that's great. Thank you so much, John, for your time today. We really appreciate it. And thanks for all of your support for MEA members over the years. And hopefully, that we get you back into the legislature and we get your continued support going forward. So thank you so much.